The screen is visible. The screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So next we will move with the modules. So the modules is actually represented. So the module is a file containing of Python, that is definition, function, statement, and instruction, whatever we have already predefined in module by using the keyword called modules, and this is known as the standard library of Python is extended as module. So what is meant by library actually? What is meant by library? So what is meant by predefined functions? So we have discussed that. So what is meant by predefined functions, or what is meant by library? What is the difference between predefined function and user defined function? Yes. If it is right or wrong, not a problem. You just tell me that, so that I can able to know that you are in the meeting room. So I will tell you that what is mean. I will tell you that user defined function, and if we are getting the answer of the predefined function, then you can tell me what is meant by predefined function. So user defined function is the function that the user has to create, modify, or delete wherever he want the data to be changed. The user is capable of changing those data. So this is known as the user defined function. So and then what is meant by predefined functions?
Which is already created and stored in Python and which cannot be changed, sir.
Yes. Then what is meant by library? Same thing. What is meant by library? We consider the library, whatever the libraries are there. You just imagine that if you are fixing some of the thing, if you are defining some of the thing in a library, if suppose in a C program or whatever it may be in Python, if I am declaring math, then what it means is, so if I am declaring any of the modules as math module math, it defined that all the mathematical function of operation you can do in that particular program. That is the concept. If you are defining a module called math, already it was predefined some of the operations, that is mathematical operation that was predefined there, and no need to call those operations to declare those operations over there. You just create the math function and you can do the operation. So for this predefined function is known as the library, and this module also the extended of the library which the user can be set according to their program. Library in the sense the Python software will having those predefined concept, that is known as a library, and modules the user can create some of the predefined concept and they can be set that the values or the variables that cannot be changed over there in the modules. So to use this module in a program, programmer need to import the module. Can you see that? Library, you no need to import those library. You can directly use the Python application. It will automatically take those library. But in the module, the user want to create the module and the user want to import those module wherever he wants. And once we import a module, we can reference or use to any of its function or variable in our code. There is large number of standard modules also available in Python. So standard modules can be imported the same way as we imported our user-defined module. So that's why I mentioned here. So standard modules also available. Some of the standard modules also available. It means that if you are using, what is the area of radius of the circle?
pi r square.
Yes.
So pi r
What
square,
is the
sir.
radius of the circle?
Pi
Pi
r
r
square.
square. Yes. What is the value of pi?
So
1
22 by 7,
Yes.
7.
3.14.
Yes.
3.1.
So the value of pi is 3.14, and you know that the value of pi is 3.14. When you are executing the program and you are giving the lines of code at pi r square, how the value of the pi has been represented in Python? If you are declaring the pi over there, then the compiler will automatically take into that library, that is a standard library. They were already predefined the value of pi is equal to 3.14, and that will take automatically the value 3.14. You no need to declare that 3.14 and all. You just declare that pi. So it means that pi. So that pi keyword will be going to the Python standard library, and it will take the value of 3.14 and it will execute the program. So these are all the standard modules can be imported, and the same way we import our user defined modules also. So whatever modules you are defining before the program has been started, you can define the modules also. So every module contains many functions. So many functions you can be able to contain in that module. To access one of the function, you have to specify the name of the module and name of the function separated by dot. This format is called as dot notation. So in the example, I will tell you how it will be considered that. Till now they are joining. Yes. The screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you can see this lines of code. That's enough. You can see this lines of code. So what is here I represented here? What is the thing I have represented here?
Person 1.
So I am giving the variable name as person one, and I am giving some of the details of that particular person, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So it means I am giving a three details, that is name is equal to John and age is 36 and country is equal to Norway, whatever it may be. So here I am writing some of the things, and I want to save those file by my module.py. So I want to save this file as my module.py, and after I am executing any of the some other program and I want to get this particular detail, this particular age is equal to 36, I want to be represented in some other program. Then what I want to do is, here is the sample program for that. Import my module. It means import all the data from the my module.py. So my module.py is already created. In another program, I am importing some of the values from my module.py. Here I am using that keyword as import my module. It means it import all the values from my module file. These values are being represented in the second program. And here I am declaring one of the variable that my module dot person one of age I want to be represented. Here what I have mentioned, to access one of the function, you have to specify the name of the module and the name of the function separated by dot. Name of the module and name of the function. So name of one of the function is person one. So this is the function. So I want to give as a person one, and it want to be separated by dot, and the values which we want to rectify in this program. So what will be the output for this particular program?
36.
Yes, it will represent only 36. So if you are declaring some of the values here, if you are declaring some of the values in the my module.py, you want to give a name that my module.py, and you want to import those all the data in the my module.py in a particular program, and in that module, whichever data you want, you can represent by using these conditions. First, you want to represent the my module, and followed by the dot and the function name and particular variable or a value that you are going to use in those lines of code. So if I am running this program, then I will get the value as 36, right? Yes.
Sir.
Okay, sir.
So this is the basic thing. We are not having any program related to module in the second unit. The modules will be coming in the third unit. So the thing, once you are knowing to create the program, and if you are knowing to create some of the function and some of the program, and you want to save those files, save those program in particular file name, and you can implement the module. So in the second unit, the introduction of the what is mean by module is the basic thing. And now coming to the fourth and fifth unit, the basic and the in-depth concept of the module will be discussed over there. Clear? So this is the basic thing. The module will represent that is a file. It is one of the extended standard library. The user need to import a module. If you are giving some of the details in a module and user want to import those module file in the some other program, and you want to execute that program by using the modules. So this is the basic definitions of the modules. Is this clear? Yes.
Sir.
Yes. So next we will move with some of the functions, arithmetic operation functions, by using the call by value and by using the argument and without argument passing the values. So function prototypes, right? So this is the task. Can anyone read me what is the task over there? This is the question actually. Yes.
Arithmetic operation using functions.
So what is mean? What are the arithmetic operations available? Operators available?
Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus.
One more missing.
Floor division.
Yes, floor division. So these are the arithmetic operations available in Python. Basic arithmetic operations are available in Python. And here we are only going to use those 5 operations, that is addition, subtraction, multiply, division, and modulus. So these are the operations that we are going to give an input, and we want to represent by using the functions. So the best one for this operation, the best one is argument passing and return value is the best one. So what is mean by argument passing? So in which line, which 8th line or 9th line, which consists of argument passing?
8th line.
8th line.
Eighth line.
Yes.
Yes.
So 8th line which consists of argument passing. So this 9th line which consists of no argument passing function prototype, and the 8th line which consists of argument passing prototype. Right. So we will move with one by one condition over here. So here I am passing the best one which can be consist of that. In the exam point of view, what they will ask is do an arithmetic operation using function. So this is the basic question that they are asking over there. So whether we want to pass an operation or we want to give a return function, that depends upon you. If they are asking particularly to do an arithmetic operation using function by argument passing and return value, then we will go with this. And if they are asking in an open ground, like do an arithmetic operation using function, you can take any operations that was depends upon you. If they are asking particularly, then you want to do the same like that. Then so what is my function name?
Addition.
Addition. So how many arguments I am passing there?
2 arguments. X and
What
Y.
are the 2 arguments?
X and Y.
X and Y. Whether I am given a return type over there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. So it means I am creating one function called addition, and I am giving a variable and adding those 2 operations, and I am returning the value to the main function. So till now I am not declared any main function. So I am creating a sub function that def is my keyword and addition is my function name, and I am passing two arguments to add, to do this addition operation, and I am storing those two operations in a variable called z, and I am returning this z value. So likewise we want to do yes. So what are the function I have created now?
Addition, subtraction, multiply, division, modulus.
Yes. So same procedure for whatever I have done in an addition process. I have creating as function name and passing the arguments and creating one variable and doing the argument related to the function, and I am returning the value. So clear as of now?
Yes, sir.
So likewise, I am doing for an addition, subtraction, multiply, division, and modules. So for this 5 operation, I am doing the same procedure, that creating a function, passing an argument, and assigning a variable, and doing some of the operation, and the values were stored in the variable, and returning the variable. Yes. So this is the sub program, and now we will move to the main program. That so where the main program will start here. Yes. In which line the main program will start?
24.
20th,
No.
23rd, sir.
23rd, yes. So this is this definition, that is a subprogram that was ended in return z. So this subprogram has been ended. So return z had been ended. So the main program has been starting from 23. Once the compiler has been executed, it will execute from this line. So it means it will display the result welcome to main function. So that will be your first line of your output, and it will reduce the result. So what is happening in 24 and 25th line?
Subfunction.
Yes. What is happening in 24 and 25th line? So I am telling that, I am explaining you once again that we are going to do an arithmetic operation by using the, you can see here, by using the argument passing and return values. So in this return value, the subfunction want to give the return value, and argument passing has been given here. And you can see this main function get the input and call the function. So this is the next step, that is main function want to get an input and call the function with argument and display the output. So here the main function want to get the input, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So here what is the thing is, by using same value, same two values, we are going to do this 5 operations. We are only getting 2 values. By using those 2 values, we are going to get do this 5 operations. So first step, the welcome message has been displayed, and second step, the input from the user. We want to get an input from the user. Only 2 values want to get the input from the user. So we are going with A and B. So these are the input types. And I am already told that when you are going for a return value, we want to add, call one of the variable and store that function values in that variable, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. In this case, if I am giving an input as 1, and here I am giving the input as 2, and what will the add function will represent is, what is add function will represent is addition of 1, 2, right?
Yes, sir.
So this function, once this two line has been entered, it will automatically go to the 26th line, and it will see that add is equal to, we are calling one add function. That means addition of a comma b. After giving the input, it will consider as addition of 1 comma 2. So here we are passing two variables, two values. So it will go to the add function, and here it will, x is represented as 1 and y is represented as 2, and z is equal to 1 plus 2, and return the z value to that particular function. So after that, what will happen is add is equal to 3. Likewise, the program will be executed. So add is equal to 3, and the 27th step, print sum is equal, sum is more divided by add. So this function, this values want to be displayed here. So this 3 will be displayed here, right? So the output will be here is 3. So the output will be displayed is, the sum is 3. So it means 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So the process how it will be executing is, first it will print the line, and it will get a user values from the user. So I am assuming that I am giving 1 and 2, and this add variable will be the next execution part, and add is equal to, here we are calling this function that addition of a comma b. It means addition of 1 comma 2. So we are passing an argument value here. It means 1 comma 2, and this addition call function will go to the subprogram, that is addition. Here the x value is denoted as 1 and y value is denoted as 2, and z is equal to 1 plus 2. So return the value of z. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, and it will return the value to the add is equal to 3, and it will consist of add is equal to 3, and we want to print that add value in the print statement. So sum is add. So add value will be printing over here. Likewise, it will be consist of to the subtraction. So here what will happen, if I am giving that same 1 and 2 is the input, right? So it will consist of 1 comma 2, and it will go to the function subtract of 1 comma 2. So it will go to the subtract function. So it will be 1 comma 2, and z is equal to 1 minus 2. So it means that return is minus 1. So it will come to here, it is equal to subtract is equal to minus 1. Likewise, it will be displayed, it will be assigned to the subtract. And in the 29th line, what we have done is, we are printing the value of the subtract by differences sub. So this function will be displayed, and output will be displayed as subtract 1. So likewise, it will do the process for multiplication, division, and modules. Can anyone tell me the two inputs for this? Any two inputs? Yes?
3 and 4.
Yes? Anyone tell me two inputs clearly?
5 comma 10.
Sir, sir
Yes?
3 comma 5, sir.
3 comma 5.
3
Right.
comma 5.
Yes, 3 and 5. So you can tell me what will be the output for an addition?
8, sir.
8, sir. 8.
8. Yes. What will be the output for the subtraction?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. And what will be the output for multiply?
15.
15.
And for
sir.
division?
Division.
0.6.
So it will, we are taking only an integer value, so it will consist of 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So for division it will be 0, and modules it will be 2 or 2, I hope so, 2. So 3 divided by 5. It will be 5. So we can run this and we can get the result over here. This module is 3. So can you able to see the output here?
Yes.
Yes. Can you able to see the output? So first
sir.
the main function has been executed. That is the 16th line has been executed here. That is welcome to main function. And next, the user input has been executed. It means that I am given the input as 3 and 5. So this function will be executed. And after that, the add function has been called by using the input value that is 1, 3 and 5. And it will display the result as 8. And after that, the subtract function will be executed, and subtract function has been called, and it will calculate, the calculation operation will be done here and return the value, and it will display the result. So likewise, it was displayed for the 5 operations. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is the case, we are getting only one input, that is the same input for all the operations, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So if you are going to, if you want to give a separate input for an individual operation, then we will move with this condition. That means no argument passing and no return value. So this is the second condition, that in this statement, what we have done is only we have collected the 2 inputs and done all the arithmetic operation, and we can give them, we can execute the result. So in the next statement, what we are going to done is no argument passing and no return value. In this case, what actually the main function will do is only the function will call the main function will call the functions. What is the main role of the function is? The main role of the main function is it will call the subfunction and it will execute the subfunction result, and it will display the result. Yes? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So you can see here that I have mentioned that no argument passing and no return value. So this is the program. We are going to discussing the program here. The first program, whatever we have discussed, is argument passing and return the value. In case if we are returning the value, we want to go with separate variable, and we want to store the values in the variable, and we want to display the output. So if you are going with no argument passing and no return value, all the operation and all the output function will be depends upon the subfunctions. We no need to allocate some of the variable and some of the values in the main function. The only role of this main function is to call the subfunction, and it will produce the result. So in this case, which part will be executed first? Which line will be executed first? Yes?
Addition.
Yes? Can you tell me the line number? Which line number will be executed first?
27.
26.
26. Yes. In this case, why? Because of 26. So here we have declared some of the function, and the function will be a subprogram. So the function has been ended here with the print statement, and after the subprogram has been ended, the main program has been started. So 26th line has been, the first line will be executed by 26, right? And after that, the 27th line will be executed. What is the meaning of 27th line?
Addition.
Addition. So after coming into the 27th line, where the program will be go?
Second line, sir.
So yes, not a second line, it will go to the first line for defining the function. So here it will check whether the addition function is there, and the second line will be executed. In the second line, the user want to give a separate input for an addition. The user want to give a separate input for an addition, and the addition process was stored in one of the variable, and the variable will be displayed in an output print statement. Once here it has been continued. Once the lines of code has reached the 5th line, then the function will be terminated. Once the sum is like that, the number has been displayed, then the addition function has been terminated, and again it will come to the 28th line, and it will go to the subtract function, and it will do an operation, and after printing the values it will be terminated, and it will go to the multiply function call, and it will do the multiply operation, and the after giving the value to the in the output, it will this subfunction will be terminated, and again the division process will be executed and the module process will be executed. So here how many inputs we want to give? Yes. How many inputs we want to give here?
2, sir.
2. So what is the, when you are giving the 2 input, what is the difference between the previous program and this program? So what I have told to is, so no argument passing and no return value. We are not passing any arguments in the main function. Just we are calling the subprogram to execute their particular operation. So here, if you are getting only 2 inputs, what will happen is, it will execute the 26th line and it will go for a 27th line, and here the addition operation will be done according to your 2 input. If you are giving 2 and 3 here, 2 and 3. If you are giving 2 and 3, what will happen? X will consist of 2 and Y will consist of 3, and here what the thing will happen is Z
5.
is equal to 5, and it will produce the result sum is 5, right? And what the thing I have mentioned you is, after getting those results, this operation will be terminated and the values also will be terminated. Fine. And again, it coming to the subtraction part, there is no input from the user. So it will be giving you an execution error. Fine. So in this case, if you are defining this subprogram and if you are going with no argument passing thing, each and individual subprogram want to be given each and individual input type. So can you see here that so this is the first program we have discussed. So I hope so. This is the first program we have discussed. Can anyone tell me how many input we are getting from the user?
2, sir.
How many input we are getting in the lines of code? Nearly 26 lines of code is there, and only 2 input I have mentioned that I want to get from the user, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now coming to the second program, how many input I have represented here?
2, sir.
2?
10 inputs.
Yes, it will consist of 10 input. Each and individual subprogram we want to give the 2 input. For the addition program, we want to give 2 different types of input. For subtraction subprogram, we want to give 2 different types of input. And for multiply, divide, and modulus, we want to give 2 different types of inputs. So here, what we have represented, same input we are doing all the operation. Here we are giving the different input and we are doing all the operations. So this is the difference between these 2 types: argument passing and argument passing and no return value. Argument passing and return value, no argument passing and no return value. So this is the basic 2 things that we have done in arithmetic operation. So how many input we want to give here?
Total 10, sir.
So total we want to give 10 inputs. It means 1, 2. So I am giving roughly, I am giving input 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So what will be the output now for the addition? So first 2 input, whatever we have given is, it will go to the addition. and second two input go to the subtraction, and third two input go to the multiply, fourth two input that go to be division, and fifth one is the modules. So what will be my output first line?
3, sir.
So the first line what you have will print here is welcome to main function, and the first two input whatever I have given is 1 and 2, and it will calculate 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So the sum is 3. So this is my first input, and second input I have given
3 minus 4.
and 4. So 3 minus 4 it means consist of minus 1,
-1.
and minus 1 will be my result. And third one is consist of 5 and 6, which consists of 30, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Sir.
Yes. Here what will happen? And 7 and
0.
7 and 8, then the output will be consist of 0. And here it consists of 9 and 10. The output will be consist of
No.
9. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then we can see this output, what the output will be coming here. So can you see here that first it will ask to enter the integer input for addition function separately. So addition function separately, they were asking that enter the integer value. So here I have represented 1 and 2. So it will take 1 and 2 and do the operation. And second one, it will ask for the enter the integer input for subtraction. And I have given 3 and 4, and it will produce the result as -1, 30, 0, and 9. So this is the difference between for these two programs. Here we are getting only one input and doing all the operation by using the return function. In this only we are calling the sub function, and inside of the sub function statements we are doing some of the operation by giving the various input by the users, each and individual operations. Yes.
Sir.
Yes. Any doubts? Chat box is
No, sir.
So I will share this lines of code with you. I will share this notepad along with you. So the two problems was there in this notepad. You go with this notepad, go with this lines of code, and you can solve some of the problems, some of the input that you are given. You can give whatever input you want, and you can execute this program, and you can find the result also. Yes.
Sir, I was AIDS, sir, group.
Yes. Can you tell me louder? I can't hear you.
Sir, I was AIDS group.
Oh, you are from AIDS. Sorry. 1 minute. Thank you. AIDS. So you can collect these lines of code and you can do your operation, separate operation. In case of any doubts, you can ask me while you are doing compiling the codes, right? So this is the first illustrative problem in your program. So they were not asked about to call the functions and all, and I am giving some of the things that you are going to call the functions and with the return type. So in your program, in your exercise, what they have done is in your syllabus and the question paper that was asked in the previous years also. Only three program, that is a three simple program that were given in your syllabus. So I'll go with those also. So exchange the values of two variables, that is one of the program that we have already discussed, the swapping of two numbers, and circulate the values of n variables and distance between 2 points. So these are the two programs that was pending in the second unit, along with this addition operations also. So these two program, after completion of the two program, the second unit will be getting over, and we will move to the third unit. Third unit will be very easy when compared to the second unit, control flow and the functions. So it will consist of if statement, else statements and all. So that we will discuss after the Pongal holidays, right? Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
No. So those who are having any doubts, you can stay back and ask your doubts. So Richard, have you raised your hands? I hope so. So in case of any queries, you just stay back and ask your queries. And if you are satisfied with this, you can give your attendance and you can move off from here to join the next class. And happy Pongal to all of them. Then we will meet you in the next week. I hope so. You are visiting the campus, right?
Same to you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Madhu. And you are visiting the campus, right, in the next week?
Sir, 25th.
Yes,
So
sir.
yes, hoping to meet you all. Yes, thank you, and hoping to meet you all on that day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, celebrate the Pongal very well.
Happy Pongal, sir.
Happy Pongal, same to you.
Happy Pongal,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So you can give your attendance and you can move off. Thank you.
Happy Pongal, sir.
Thank you, thank you.